Welcome to episode number 4 of Espresso with Omar. I am your host, Omar, and my goal is simply to charge you with an espresso shot of motivation for your day. Today, the topic is a little bit tough because not everybody wants to hear this, but simply stated, there are no excuses at 5 a.m. There's not a reason why you can't do anything you want to do in life at 5 a.m. I have to take my mind back to when I was a kid, when I was young, and maybe you can as well, when there was no such thing as limits, when there was no such things as boundaries to your imagination. We saw ourselves, well, I saw myself as someone who would constantly dream up new ideas and dream up of where I was going in life and what could I do. And I see a lot of this in my kid even today. He's 5 years old, and so many times we have conversations about the future indirectly. He'll make comments like, Dad, this is what I want to be when I get older. I want to be a paleontologist. I want to be a firefighter. I want to be an astronaut. I want to be a teacher. In these moments where I'm observing him living in a boundless, in a limitless way of living, right? There's no boundaries, there's no limits. I remember what that was like. I remember what that feels like, and I also have to come to contend with the question of what happened. What happens to the dreams that we have when we're growing up? What happens one day to the next? We're no longer dreaming. We start to accept what we consider to be fate, what we consider to be just life. That this is no longer a possibility. And when I start to get into the details of these conversations that I have with people that have that way of thinking, which is this is it. There is no way to be able to dream like a kid anymore. The One of the common things I hear is there's just not enough time. If I had more time, if I had time on the side of everything that I have to do to focus on things that I actually want to do, that are building the dream, building the goals that are going to bring satisfaction and meaning to your life. If I had time, then I could do this. So in the pondering of this question, I started to realize and through my life that there's no excuse at 5 a.m. Everyone has time at 5 a.m. There's no reason why the hours of 5 a.m. to 7 a.m., 4 a.m. to 7 a.m., 5 a.m. to 8 a.m., there is no reason why those hours cannot be 100% dedicated to the goals and the dreams you have, that you've been having, that you're continuing to have in your mind, in your life. There is no reason why those hours cannot be 100% dedicated to pursuing your dream. So there's no excuse at 5 a.m. Let's be very honest. You are not your own person between the hours of 8, 8:30, 9 to 5 p.m., 5:30. You are not your own person. We are usually completely dedicated, completely committed to our day jobs, to our families, to the responsibilities that allow us to have our homes, to have our cars, to have our lifestyles. So the hours of 8 a.m., 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., 6 p.m. are not ours. We are 100% dedicated and committed to external responsibilities. And I understand. I have an 8 to 5, I have a 9 to 5, I have two children, I have a wife, I have a household, I have friends, I have families, I have bills, I have car insurance responsibilities, I have all of that. That being said, the question I like to pose to you in this moment is, if your boss called you right now and said, tomorrow I need you to come in at 5 a.m. and I'm going to pay you time and a half or two times what you make an hour, but you need to be here at 5 a.m. sharp to start your day. The majority of us would be there in a heartbeat. The majority of us would not hesitate to show up to the job at 5 a.m. if our boss asks us to be there. The implication here is the hours that we are not willing to put in work for ourselves and our dreams and what we want to pursue in life, we are willing to give to others at a price. What's the value? What's the price of that goal, of that dream you're pursuing? How much value is that for you in your life? Because if we're willing to get up for my boss, for my supervisor, for my job at 5 a.m. and go, then we should be able to go for ourselves. But that's where I start with this question. If your boss called you, come in at 5, pay you time and a half, overtime, you're showing up? The truth is, no one needs us at 5 a.m. though. No one needs us. Kids are sleeping, partners are sleeping, friends are sleeping. No one needs you. There is not a friend that needs you to pick them up. There's not a partner that needs you to help them with the kid. There's not a child that needs to be picked up from school, taken to soccer. There's no responsibility at 5 a.m. For the majority of us, 5 a.m., we're still sleeping. We're still sleeping. 5, 6, 7 a.m. are the hours that there is absolutely no excuse for why you can't be building the life you want to live, building the dream you see in your mind, that you've been living in your mind over and over and over again. This is your time. 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m. is your hours. Your boss doesn't need you at 5 a.m., but if they did, you'd be there. Well, guess who needs you at 5 a.m.? You need you at 5 a.m. Future you living the dream needs you at 5 a.m. There is no excuse at 5 a.m. There's no excuse at 5 a.m. No one needs you at 5 a.m., but you need you to show up. You need to work on that personal project, on that dream, on that future life you envision yourself living. At 5 a.m., no one is calling you to pick them up. No one is calling you to come and help them. The only excuse you have, the only excuse we have at 5 a.m. is I couldn't get up when I heard the alarm. The only excuse that we have at 5 a.m. is I didn't want to get up. I chose to sleep. I chose to snooze. I chose to stay in bed. I didn't want to get up. But there's no excuse at 5 a.m. I got responsibilities. I'm a father. I'm a husband. I'm a son. I'm a brother. I'm a cousin. I'm a friend. I'm an uncle. I'm an employee. I have responsibilities. I understand. 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. At 5 a.m. to 7:30, 5 a.m. to 8 is where I'm building my business. It's where I'm writing. It's where I'm creating some of these episodes for my podcast. It's where I'm working out. Those are my hours. Those are my time because no one needs me at that time. And let me put this into an arithmetic perspective. 5 to 7 a.m., Monday through Sunday. So even just those 2 hours, that's 14 hours a week. That's a part-time job. That's a part-time job that you could be putting into your goal, into your dream, into the future life you want to live. That's 14 hours a week. That's 28 hours every 2 weeks. That's 56 hours a month. That's almost 60 hours that you could be putting into the dream you want to build. What I want to drive home here is that there's not an excuse. The excuse that I don't have time is not a real excuse. We're choosing to sleep through the time we do have because no one needs us at that time. That's almost 60 hours that you could be building something. If you would be willing to give those hours to someone else if they called you at a price, what's the price of the future life you want to live? What's the price of the dream you want to make a reality? What's the price that you've put on that future vision you have? You have the time. You're just snoozing through it. I'm a big believer in practical tips. I think that we can talk theory, we can talk abstract. I can tell you, get up at 5 a.m., get up at 5 a.m., but let's be practical. If this is something that you want to start implementing, here are my tips on how you can do this. The first thing is you have to go to sleep earlier. What are we doing scrolling through our phones at 10, 11, 12, 1 in the morning? You're wasting your time. That's your hours that you could be sleeping so that you can get up at 5 a.m. and feel great to start your day. So go to sleep earlier. Start practicing your night routine a little bit earlier and see how you feel. It's not going to happen right away, but eventually you're going to be able to get sleepier earlier and you're going to be able to feel more energized in the morning because you're getting better sleep. The second thing is prep your equipment, prep your clothes, prep your workspace the night before. If your goal is to lose some weight, so you're going to start going to the gym, have your clothes prepped the night before so you can get up and go. If your goal is to start writing more in the mornings, have your desk, your space ready for you to come and work. If your goal is to start a business, well, guess what? Have your laptop, your computer, your paperwork, your information ready for you the night before. So when you wake up, you can get right into workflow. Tip number 3 is change your alarm system, right? If you have a partner, if you live with somebody, one of the things that are going to get you out of bed is if you put that alarm at full volume or a very high volume and you put it across the room. Because now you need to get up to go turn that off, or your partner is going to be very upset for waking them up. If you have kids, you can do the same thing. You don't want to wake up the kids that early. So put your alarm a little bit where you got to get up to go get it. Have it on full blast. So when you hear that thing, you don't just hit snooze. You get up, run over there, turn it off. You're already up. You're already up. You got to go now. So change your alarm system, right? Don't just have it on low vibration or a low volume where you can just snooze it because it's right next to your pillow. Put it farther away. Put it further away where you have to get up and you have to be afraid of waking people up. So then you can go and get up. Tip number 4, and I think this is a very general tip that applies to a lot of things, but also to getting up earlier so you can start working on that dream. Remember, we're working on that dream. Is start slow. Maybe you can't do this every day. Not to start. Maybe every day waking up at 4:45 to be working by 5 is going to be too much. But you could do it once a week. You could do it twice a week. Maybe you do it on a Tuesday. You live your normal life, and then you do it again on Friday. That's 4 hours, 5 hours a week. You're now working on your dream, working on your projects, working on the future vision you envision. So start slow, start gradual. Maybe it's not 5 a.m. for you. Maybe you usually wake up at 7:30, maybe wake up at 6:30. Now you have 45 minutes to work on your goals, to work on your dreams. What's not possible here is to make the excuse that you don't have the time when you're sleeping through it, when you're going to sleep late and scrolling through it. There is time. There is a time when no one needs you, when there's no responsibilities and there's no excuses. Go to sleep earlier, stop scrolling, prep your equipment, your clothes the night before. Make your alarm loud and not at arm's distance, but at walking distance to turn off. And number 4, start slow. You don't have to do it every day at first, but start. Thank you for joining me today on Espresso with Omar Podcast. I'm your host, Omar, and I appreciate it. I have to say this from the bottom of my heart. If you're listening here on episode number 4, I really appreciate it. I'm trying to bring a lot of energy, a lot of motivating energy for you, for your day, for your week. So I really appreciate you liking, leaving a comment, sharing it with your friends, or just telling me what you think. You got to send a DM. Let me know if you have any feedback. But I really appreciate you being here for episode number 4. And hey, there's no excuse at 5 a.m. Go start building that future life you want to live.